You see, I'm not the biggest fan of remakes because anytime somebody in Hollywood wants to remake a movie that I grew up watching, I turn my nose up and want to ask the question, why? But I will make an exception. As a matter of fact, I make the exception for the 2024 remake of Roadhouse starring Jake Gyllenhaal. Now, I've seen reviews that have said that this film doesn't take itself seriously and it's goofy, corny, etc. But come on now, if you go and rewatch the 1989 cult classic starring Patrick Swayze, that film doesn't take itself seriously at all. As a matter of fact, it's a silly ass, goofy ass, action packed ass movie in its own right. But one thing that I like that this remake does is that it doesn't copy and paste the formula of the original. It does its own thing. Yes, it's the same story as the first film. You know, you have a guy that comes into town, badass, can kick everybody's ass, and of course, there's some corrupt cops and a very greedy rich guy that he has to deal with, and also deal with a higher muscle. But like I said, this film does not copy and paste the original. Jake Gyllenhaal's portrayal of Dalton is very different from Patrick Swayze's portrayal. Speaking of Jake Gyllenhaal, he carries this movie. I see the reason as to why he is such the leading man that he is today in films. The fact that he got himself ripped and shredded and the fight preparation that he did for this movie, he brought his A game with this. Again, kudos to him. The action scenes are very reminiscent of a 1980s action film. The dialogue, not gonna lie to you, this film, I didn't see it as just an action film. I saw it as an action comedy because there were often a lot of times I caught myself laughing at some of the corny ass dialogue and sequences in this movie. You had to check it out for yourself. And Conor McGregor making his acting debut. Well, I'm not going to call it acting because anytime you get a professional athlete to be in a movie, acting is not their strongest suit. As a matter of fact, their sport that they're good at is. But Conor, he wasn't acting. Conor was basically being himself, a real life cartoon character, the same type of character that he portrays in the UFC. Because his portrayal as the higher muscle Knox that the main bad guy's father has to call to come handle Dalton. When I say this dude was pretty much a real life Saturday morning cartoon, he was freaking hilarious. Overall, I enjoyed this film, regardless of what any of the critics or anyone else has to say. I have a mind of my own. Oh, and before I forget, the villain, Brant, he wasn't intimidating at all. His dad, who you don't see in the movie, has to call Knox to come and handle his lightweight, and make no mistake about it. His dad does this while he's in prison because he sees that his son is messing up and can't even get a simple job done. But overall, I have nothing bad to say about this film. I like it a lot. I'm glad that it came out on streaming and not in theaters because I just couldn't see myself going to the movies and watching this on the big screen. So watching it from the comfort of my own home, I like it better that way. So Roadhouse gets 2 thumbs up in my book. Just saying.